right, good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 2017 Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. This is Matt Canizar alongside special guest Shannon O'Keefe.
Hi.
Here at the Old Dominion building at Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. What an awesome setup here. Now we have the continuation of our first round of match play. Stefanie Johnson taking on Shannon Pluhowsky. And our other match, Rocio, Restrepo, and Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia. So we got Team USA versus the world here.
Yeah. How about that?
Our 4-lane installation is pretty sweet.
It's cool.
So Cubica AMF came in and transformed this old building. The Old Dominion building is nearly 80 years old.
Is it really?
It is,
I had no idea.
Seen some history here at the Richmond Raceway.
I knew it was historic, because that's what they told us, but didn't really know a lot of details, so it's awesome.
Nice little complex here, and the Tour Championship this year, part of Race Week here. So NASCAR rolling into town as well. So right here on the complex, and bowling meets racing, a lot of similarities, and an opportunity to showcase the best in the world on the PWBA Tour and spend some time with the NASCAR folks and all the fans, and a little cross promotion, and the doors open. Big crowd on hand so far today.
Yeah, it's been really, really great, and I think being able to be in a venue like this that's open to the public. I mean, obviously bowling centers are always open to the public, but what I mean by that is it's a very well-known area, and people in the area are really excited about the race coming up on Friday and Saturday, and so there's a lot of excitement around here anyways, and then you pair a professional event with it, and people are really excited. All the fans that I have met that are in the building since this morning, I mean, they're excited. They're ready to be here all day, every day, so it's pretty awesome.
Well, we've got 2 days of competition here at the Old Dominion building. 6 matches each day, 2 at a time. We had our first round earlier today. We'll have that rundown in just a minute. But the first round match is taking place today. Then it'll advance to our second and third rounds tomorrow. And then the 2 remaining players, as we make our way through the bracket, will join our top 2 seeds, Liz Johnson and Kelly Kulik, who already have advanced to the TV show based on their performance over the course of the season. This is the 14th total event of the year, 13 counting towards the points, and points determining the seeding for this tournament. Kelly coming in at number 2 on the points list, so earning her spot in the semifinals. But Liz Johnson, what a year, captures 2 majors and a standard title, and
she's so
wins
dominant.
Player of the Year for the 3rd consecutive time. Before this event even started, she had it locked up mathematically. So she'll be your number 1 seed on TV. And then earning buys for the week, Danielle McEwen and Diana Zavyalova of Latvia. So they'll get into action tomorrow in our second round. But right now it's all about our first round of matchups again. The Team USA teammates, these 2 have basically grown up together in the Team USA program.
Yeah, I don't know how many years they were on Junior Team USA together, but I know that the 3 of us have been on Team USA together for 13 straight years. So, yes, they have literally grown up together.
And, of course, we'll get into the details and the matchups as things unfold here. But, of course, at this level, at this point in the season, you kind of leave your friendships at the top step here as you walk up onto the approach. I know. A lot of friendships out there. You guys travel the world, travel the country together, week to week, and as you said, 13 years on Team USA, and then coming out here, different ball companies and different things. Yep. Everybody well represented. We've got a lefties, some righties, and for example, your match today, Birgit Poplar of Germany. There's 2 Brunswick staffers.
The only 2 here, and we meet each other the very first round. And
you guys meet up.
Yeah, and I adore Birgit. I think she is just a wonderful girl. She's an incredibly talented player, and much respect to her. Seen her, bowling against the world for years and years, and so it just kind of stinks we had to meet each other the first round, but I guess it is what it is, right?
So all part of the deal, and we'll talk more about our Rookie of the Year race here in just a few minutes. But Again, two great friends and longtime teammates, Shannon Pluhowsky and Stefanie Johnson, having a new battle here. So
Yeah, I actually said to Megan Kelly, Shannon's significant other, I said to her, I hate this match. This match stinks for me because I love both these girls so much. Because we have experienced so much together. These girls are literally like my sisters. I mean, they're two of my best friends, and it's like a lose-lose / win-win because, I hate that one of them is going to lose the first round, but at the same time, one of them is moving on, so it stinks, but what are you going to do?
Well, nature of the format, but
Yep.
all of you guys guaranteed money coming out here, so it's a reward for a very well bowled season.
Yes.
We'll get into the storylines here. Stefanie Johnson missed the first 8 events of the year. Had herself a little daughter, Kenzie.
Yeah, she's my little goddaughter.
To join Levi, that's right.
Yeah.
I saw that through social media. We were able to follow you guys across the world, and we saw the moment when you received the official question.
That just speaks volumes for who Stefanie is as a person. She knows how important my McKendree girls are to me, and they're like my children, and to be able to share a moment like that with my girls was amazing. My husband and I would love to have kids, and it's just not in the cards for us, and so her being as amazing as she is knew that would mean the world to me, so she kind of made me a mommy in her own way, and to be able to share that with the people I love the most it's just Stefanie. She's just amazing like that.
Her year in 2017 on the tour here began in Orlando.
Yeah.
Great emotional story there. She got to have a homecoming.
Yeah.
Where she grew up and started to love bowling.
Yeah, bowled college.
Bowled in college there. Her college coach was there.
Yeah.
And that was her return to the tour, and she planned it a little bit that way.
Yes.
Again, missing the first 8 events of the year, and made the show at that event. And then the show, of course, taped in her current home center, Plano Super Bowl in Plano, Texas.
It literally gives me the chills. Like, just hearing you say it again. I mean, it's just, how perfect is that?
Well, you can't write it any better.
You can't.
And of course, she wins the event.
Yeah.
In front of her new hometown fans, and only bowled, a few events for the year, and qualifies for the tour championship. And here she is now with the front 5 here against the lone left-hander in the field. Shannon Pluhowsky has had a few heartbreaking years.
Yeah.
On the PWBA tour, still searching for that first official title since the return of the tour in 2015. And just some emotions. She had a great few showings, this year on TV, and it's getting closer.
She'll get there. I'm confident in that. She was one shot away from winning her first title in Rochester, and it's hard. It's hard, and she'll get there. Every players, these great players, their moments of disappointment. They turn and use it to learn from it and grow from it and to be better in the future. And it's just a matter of time.
Well, and to clarify, of course, Shannon, a Queens champion.
Yes.
In 2006, and won the BPAA All-Star in 2014 when there was no U.S. Women's Open.
Right.
So 2 major titles.
2 major titles.
But not official PWBA titles since there was not a tour at the time. It's a little bit of a gray area.
It's kind of the same as kind of what Kelly was going through, and the same thing. She didn't have an official PWBA title since the relaunch of the Ladies Tour, and that was a very emotional time for her when she won earlier this season, because it was her first title since the passing of her mom, and it was kind of that monkey off the back, and so it's just a matter of time for this one.
Well, we saw Shannon there with the miscue, misses the 10-pin. In the 6th frame, and that's precisely what happened in her match on TV with Danielle McEwen in the title match of the Rochester Open. Shannon missed a 10-pin partway through the game and still had a chance to step up in a 10th and double for the win. Got the first one. The second one didn't quite go how she had planned. Danielle able to escape with a two-pin victory, but very uncharacteristic for Ms. Pluhowsky.
Yeah, very much so. On the show, sometimes it just happens. It wasn't the best effort. Here in this building, with these being new lanes, we are all finding that our balls are hooking more at our spares, Even Shannon doesn't use a plastic ball. She flattens her hand out a little bit. But I use a hard plastic ball. A lot of us do. And yesterday, all of us had to make some adjustments in practice because our spare balls were hooking. So you may see some more miscues than what we're used to strictly because of that. So she'll make an adjustment, and she won't let it get to her. It's, potential 5 games here, so.
All right, Stefanie's string ends at 5, but spare in the 6th, so she holds the advantage here over Pluhowsky at the halfway point. In our other match, Lee Jane Sen doing some work. She's got 3 consecutive strikes now, and the advantage over Rocio. And Rocio got off to a hot start this year, making the first couple shows, picking up a win at the Cubic AMF Sonoma County Open, and then kind of slowed her pace a little bit the rest of the way. She's been going through some injuries and different things, and but a little bit of pressure off there qualifying for this event early.
It's always nice.
And then
it's always nice.
For Jane, a cool storyline too. The Malaysians came and bowled just a portion of the tour.
Yeah, like 4 events, right?
And just a swing. And Singapore was out to start the year, and then they went home to train a little bit for the SEA Games, and then Malaysia came out and spent some time. And Jane actually was the top seed at back-to-back events, Wichita and Lincoln. And in the Wichita final, she fell to her own teammate.
Yeah.
CT Rahman,
which got her into this event.
Yes.
Yep.
CT became the first Malaysian to win a PWBA Tour title, earned her spot here, and then the very next week in the Lincoln Open, Jane gets it done. So now
that's really
the teammates, she needed a roommate, basically, was what it was. CT made the Tour championship.
She didn't want to come by herself.
Needed a roommate. It's a long way to Malaysia.
Oh, that's great.
And we saw similar success last year with the group from Singapore. Of course, the championship match was New Wei Fen and Sherry Tan.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an all-Singapore final, and they bowled well this year, but with the limited number of events
it's
without
hard.
winning, hard to get here.
Yeah, when you bowl limited events, you got to win. It just is what it is. So it's there was a lot of unique winners this year, and so not a lot came out of the actual points. So towards the end of the season, I know the girls that were borderline were points were wanting multiple winners, like a multi-time winner, because then they take more players out of points. But
well, we did have one of those. Liz Johnson just dominant on tour this year.
Right.
Winning early and then winning 2 majors, finishing second in a third one.
She's amazing. There's so much that can be learned from Liz, and she's so talented. She can play all over the lane, even though people think that she can't. She can. We see it. But she's so mentally tough. She doesn't let anything rattle her, ever. And it's just really, really inspiring, and I'm in awe of watching her compete. She's amazing.
You guys did see a variety of challenging lane conditions, from what you would consider exceptionally hard to a little bit playable.
Yeah.
Throughout the year in different shapes and lengths, and sometimes you knew the pattern, sometimes you didn't. And for Liz, really proved versatility.
Yeah.
And you're right. People see her, and she likes to throw the high hard one.
Right.
But
she can do it from all over.
And she did it from 4 or 5 different arrows.
She did.
To find that kind of success throughout the season.
She did, and the unfortunate thing is on the TV shows, when they're fresh, the people at home, that's all they really get to see if they're not tuning into Extra Fame, and so they don't really get to see what she is doing and what she's capable of. But when when it's, game 11 or game 12, and she's sliding into 35 and throwing it up, like 24, that's amazing.
Well, that is how you find your way to Player of the Year 3 consecutive years. That is an unbelievable run, and she's been seated on the TV show now for this event 3 times.
3 times.
0 for 2, so maybe a little extra motivation there. But what a year in the majors for her. But now, still a long way to go till it's her turn to step up on this 4-lane installation here.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if the players in the first round have a little bit of an advantage because they're competing and they're just getting more games competition-wise on, in this format. or if the ones that have the buys have the advantage. It's interesting. It's an interesting argument, I think, because I think the more that you're in this situation, the more comfortable you become. So
Well, it's a little bit of a mental thing as well, knowing that you're guaranteed, a spot on the show.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed that money, minimum, fourth place finish. All of those things come into play, and it's just like any event, where they'll ask you if you're the number one seed. Would you rather be number one? Would you rather have an opportunity to bowl a game to get comfortable before bowling for the title? But
you're right. It's kind of the same outlook. It's just in a little bit of a elongated format. And I would take number one seed every single time.
I mean, the reward in this case, obviously, is being seated on the show, not having to bowl the matches.
Right.
But it could be an interesting conversation down
the
road for the players.
It could be a disadvantage as well.
Maybe those players would rather be seated in the bracket and just have all 16 go at it from round one.
Yeah.
So it's a fluid process.
Yes.
It's the PWBA tour. It's back, and
it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a female player, and the fact that it's continuing and the amount of commitment that it's taking from the sponsors and USBC and BPAA. I mean, if you are a female player that wants to be competitive, then this is what you need to be doing, at least giving it a try. This is the best platform for women's bowling.
Well, it returned in 2015 for a 3-year commitment, and now the 2018 schedule already out. So it is continuing. It was a success, and we have great opportunities like this here at the Richmond Raceway. Great sponsors like Cubic AMF, and just to be able to put this together all in a couple days and to really showcase this is a championship environment. Banners in the rafters, the bleachers are full, and it's happening.
And we got strikes all over the place.
And now Shannon Pluhowsky, a little bit of a tough game here with a pair of opens, one in the 10th there for 184. But it's a best of 5 format.
Yes.
So Stefanie bowling very well. She's on 270 pace here. So this one was won a few frames back. So Shannon with an opportunity probably to try a couple different things.
And
maybe.
She probably did. I would not be surprised if that's what she did.
In our other match, Jane with the advantage here now as we're up to the 9th frame. So she'll go ahead and finish first and be able to lock it out here with a spare. And then Rocio, best she can do is 202, so no doubt she's going to go to the bag and try some things. And
you might as well. The unique thing with this format is you got to have short-term memory in these formats if you're the one that's down in a match. Even if you're the one that's up in a match, you got to keep your eyes open, your head clear, and you got to really pay attention because they could change quick. It's 40 feet. It's lower volume. And that lower volume, if you have players that are kind of in the same part of the lane together, like Rocio and Lee Jane, they're close to each other. They could blow up that front part of the lane really quick, and they could change really fast. You've got to really have your eyes open and your head clear and really be paying attention. And, just because you stumbled in one game doesn't mean that you can't all of a sudden be bold, try something, and, put a 6-bagger on the board the very next game.
All right, folks, if you're following along at home, you are watching continued coverage of the 2017 Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship here in Richmond, Virginia. This is our first round of matches. We'll have 3 matches today, 3 rounds, so 2 matches at a time. We saw our first set of matches this morning. We'll recap that here in just a minute. Right now, Shannon Pluhowsky and Stefanie Johnson getting ready for game number 2. Courtesy of Jason Thomas. Shannon Pluhowsky up in her second frame, game 2.
That's cool.
Great shot from Shannon. Go back and watch Rocio. Scoreboard updated. Johnson leads 1-0 over Pluhowsky, 268-184, and Sin 223 over Restrepo, 191. Game 2 now going to be underway on both pairs. Shannon, now that we have a moment to breathe after game 1, let's recap this morning's action. We had 2 matches at noon, high noon, and on our left-hand pair, it was Missy Parkin and Maria Jose Rodriguez. Maria was 3-0 last year at this event. And it happened again here, but Missy Parkin, she's about 7 months pregnant-ish at this point.
Close,
Pretty close. She said December.
Yep, end of December.
And
Shannon.
Kelly kind of analyzed Missy's approach and swing a little bit, and just was very impressed with how she has adapted to her new body.
Yes.
Over these last couple months, and Missy bowled very well, winning 3-0. They tied at 213 the first game, and Missy won the roll-off. And then shot 259 and 226.
Yeah.
Maria bowled well, 237, 204 the other 2 games, and just came up a little bit short. Missy, very motivated, the only player actually in the field of 16 here who did not make a TV show this year.
Wow.
So she was very consistent, had a couple close calls, and that got her enough points to make it to the Tour Championship. And then,
wow,
of course,
I did not realize that. That's crazy.
Yep, it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
Shannon Pluhowsky made some shows, but didn't get the win, so she earned her way here via the points list as well, whereas Stefanie Johnson and your opponent, Birgit Poplar, didn't bowl very many events, but were fortunate to be able to win and earn their spots here. But back to Birgit, you guys faced off on lanes 3 and 4, and you had the advantage from the start, and things seemed to get better for you. 214, 209, and then 269, 199, and then your final game 279 with the front 8.
Yeah.
And then Birgit 208 that game. So the 3-0 win for you. And you mentioned the transition and having to make the guessing game a little bit with the equipment, at least in the first round, but now you know a little bit better.
Yeah, I started with a strong symmetrical bowling ball. I started with a green quantum, and it looked so good to start. And from the first frame until I split in the 8th and 9th. Left the exact same split in the 8th and 9th, and I really liked both of them. I 4, 6, 7, and I liked both of them off my hand. And both of those shots, I moved left before I threw them and liked them. So it was very evident to me that when the front part of the lane started breaking down and opening up, that ball was too strong, too early, and when it went away quick. So I threw the first shot with the green quantum and then switched to a freak show flip, which is a symmetrical ball as well, but it's a pearl symmetrical with surface on it. And from there, it just kind of blended it out. Didn't read the lane as early as the green quantum, and it really kind of opened up the lane for me and gave me a lot of confidence to just bowl and just be me.
Now you have the opportunity to be you again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you're waiting to see who your opponent will be, either Rocio or Restrepo or Lee Jane Sin here to our right.
So after Shannon's little mishap with she missed a 7-pin, she quickly doubled after. So that's exciting. Got to recover quick in situations like that. So we see Stefanie here on lane 2, fired that one right. And it's not going to see it when you throw it on the harder side and fire right like that. Rocio over here on lane 4 working on a double. Made a ball change. And now she has a triple. That's the importance of being bold. Stefanie cleans it up.
All right, folks, we appreciate everybody tuning in today. Again, the 2017 Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. We're getting some reports of some audio challenges, but just double-checked everything. Looking good on our end here. We made some headset switches today, but it seems to be working well. But we do appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you'd like to follow the action, terrible break there for Restrepo. 7-10. I guess, technically that's never a good break, right? 7-10.
Yeah,
never good news.
It's not like you ever leave it and say, ooh, that was a good break.
So, but on the front three, 7-10 in the fourth, trying to even this match at 1 with Jane. So, definitely a momentum stopper there. We do have one more round of matches coming up today at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to see Clara Guerrero against Malaysia's CT Raman. And our other match could determine the Rookie of the Year for 2017.
Yeah, how crazy is that? They're bowling each other. They're teammates. They're in the race for Rookie of the Year. That's a story.
Well, people might start to think we made these storylines on purpose, but Daria Payuk and Verity Crawley, former teammates at Weber International,
right.
Both international stars for Poland and England, respectively.
Right.
And they are tour roommates, along with Diana Zavialova from Latvia. So they all bowl together at Weber. They travel and room together.
And the winner of that match bowls Diana.
And if Daria is able to win, she will be the Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
And the reward, besides the trophy, again, she gets to take on her former teammate and roommate, Diana, in the next round. If Verity is to win, she has to make it to the TV show.
Wow.
And then she is the Rookie of the Year. So,
wow. Okay.
Not as dramatic on the Player of the Year side, which
sounds very similar to Stefanie Johnson the first year, actually.
And that's kind of
cool
how it works out with the points, and it goes all the way to the very last game of the last week. And Liz is so dominant this year that she got the job done, and this is gravy for her, as they say, to be cliche.
Yeah, Liz is like ho-hum.
Yeah. But a lot of pressure off at that point, knowing that it's mathematically done. Player of the Year trophy headed to now Deerfield, Illinois.
That's awesome.
But
it's still weird to say that she lives in Illinois, but it's awesome. I'm so excited for her. There's not many players as great as her that are as humble as her. She is an incredible, incredible person on top of everything else. And so when you meet somebody that's just amazing like that and so humble, it's hard to not be happy for them every time that they succeed.
I think that's the special thing about this tour, is that just yes, it would be cool to see a fist fight or something cool, some excitement. But at the same time, it's just it's great friends out here,
Yeah.
and everybody just until you hit the approach, roommates and friends and travel partners and everybody out here for the same reason. That's to support the tour and make sure that it keeps going.
I think a lot of it that is kind of working in our favor in that retrospect is the fact that we didn't have anything for 12 years. We had nothing. And we all really desperately wanted it. And there's a handful of us that are on our national teams that could compete internationally and still experience bowling at the highest level. But now that, anybody can do it, anybody that wants to try it can try it, I think it's bonded us even more. We have so much to be grateful for, and what's not to be happy about. I'm happy for when you see your friends succeed and we get to experience it all together. And we really are a pretty tight-knit group of girls when it comes to friendships and wanting to see each other succeed. That doesn't mean that we don't want to beat each other into the ground when we're bowling against them. But when it's done, and don't let it affect our friendships. And
well, I don't know that you know that we all saw it, but one of my favorite moments of the season, besides, of course, the great storyline with Stefanie having her homecoming in Orlando and then winning in Plano, but when she wrapped up that match, you were getting ready for the next show.
Yeah.
So you were off on the other side of the curtain. You were practicing and getting your head together.
Freaking out.
And as soon as she won, you came bouncing through the curtain. It wasn't flying. It wasn't running. You were bouncing and you were jumping up and down, and you were just about the first one out there.
Yeah.
To congratulate her.
Stefanie and I have been through so much together, and we really do feel like we're sisters. And when she succeeds, I feel like I succeed. We're in it together all the time. I think I even had some labor pains when she was having her kids, but you should have seen me over on the side, getting ready for my show. I was freaking out. It was freezing in the bowling center, but I was sweating. My palms were sweaty. I was freaking out because I just wanted it so badly for her. As much as, same situation with Shannon. Yeah, it's hard not to have those feelings for the people that you love, and you just want them to succeed. And I was way more nervous watching both of these two on their shows than I was bowling myself. But yeah, I was trying to fight back the tears. I'm so excited for her.
Well, it looks like they are giving you a lot of excitement here now with
my palms are sweaty.
with Stefanie leading this match 1-0, and now Shannon with 8 out of 9 strikes here with just the missed 7-pin in the third frame. So obviously she's going to even this one out at 1 apiece, and it would be our first match to go more than 3 games today.
You're right.
But now Steph in position to kind of look at the transition and see what she needs to do at this point. She's got the pair to herself.
She just changed balls. It's that perfect situation that you might as well try something. And she did, and it didn't look great, so she'll figure it out.
Right now, to our right, however, Rocio off to the great start and then derailed by the 7-10. And now Jane in control here. She's got the 4-bagger and a 1-0 advantage.
Right.
But, definitely, if you ask any of the players, I think besides Liz, it's been a roller coaster.
It's been a challenge,
physically and emotionally, and and then for you, your success earlier in the year came as a coach at McKendree, a couple national titles, and then your season on the PWBA tour was.
It was weird.
It was different than we saw last year.
It was. My husband and I were talking about it not too long ago. So last year and this year, well, the points are not determined yet for this year. But going into this tournament, I'm 5th in points. And last year, I ended the year 5th in points. And so very similar years as far as where I'm finishing. However, last year I made 5 TV shows and had 3 wins, and this year I missed 3 cuts, but every other cut I made the top 12. And so it was just a very different road for me. Definitely frustrated when I'm missing cuts, but they were challenging, and it taught me a huge lesson in the importance of being patient, and that sometimes a 180 game is okay, and you take it and you move on. And obviously we know spares are important. They're always important. But when the patterns are consistently challenging to where a triple is hard to find, spares even that much more important. And so it was just a very unique year. I'm grateful for it, even though there was weeks where I was really upset and in tears and kind of questioning, do I need to take a break and just kind of give myself a mental breather. And I actually had a conversation with my husband about Liz, and that's why she's so great and so dominant, is she doesn't let one bad day of bowling define her, or get to her. And he has really pushed me to become mentally tougher and use her as inspiration. And it's hard to do that sometimes. It's hard to get out of your head, but you just have to drown out the noise that you're creating or that other people are creating, and just focus on what you can control. And that's really what turned the season around for me late in the season, was just trying to look at it a different way and stop trying to win every tournament in the first game, and just, stick to the process. And that's really kind of what helped finish the way I did.
You made the call, and it was almost time to go home, take a week off, and Brian helped talk you down a little bit.
He did.
Get you back out there.
I haven't been that upset over bowling in a really long time. Really long time. What a lot of people don't know is back in 2010, I was ready to quit, and I started coaching little girls, and they really taught me how to love the game again. And I've just been in a really good mental place since then, and now coaching my McKendree kids, and they really helped me just keep it in perspective. But there was definitely a moment I missed back-to-back cuts, and man, it ate at me really bad, and I was really emotionally upset. And thankfully I have a husband with a really strong head on his shoulders, and very supportive. He said, look, if you feel you need to take a week off, then take a week off. It's okay. And I knew that where I was, without making a show at that point, without having a win, that I couldn't afford to take a week off if this is where I wanted to be, and that I was just going to have to figure it out. And I'm so grateful. It was a huge lesson to me that, when you're on the brink of frustration and that you're ready to quit, that you never, ever, ever know how close you are to that breakthrough. And I'm grateful that I didn't go home for a week, and that I just pushed through it, and it taught me a lot about myself, and something I can take back to my kids this year as the collegiate season gets ready to start, and we'll lead by example, I guess, right?
There you go, a motivator. And now Stefanie Johnson looking for a little motivation, as we'll talk about the transition here in just a moment. But the seesaw, now that game, Pluhowsky wins 250 to 190, and Steph shooting 268 in the opener. Things went away a little bit, and off to our right, Rocio was in position to really put the pressure on Lee Jane Sin, and 10-pinned there in the 10th. So the best she can do is 215. Jane still can get to 247. So she needs
a mark.
A mark in the 10th, and she's good for 2-0. Now Steph trying to figure things out. We saw Shannon Pluhowsky. She was throwing, looked like the Purple Hammer, the Pearl version.
Right.
And then made a switch in the 10th after the first hit. So the 5 count was with something different. And I would imagine she's going to go back to the urethane ball here.
I would assume.
She was stringing strikes, but an opportunity there for her to try something that obviously didn't work.
Yeah. That's something that I think is really important, and it's something that a lot of people at home, I wish they were here, they could see it and see every move that we make. It's methodical. There's a reason behind it. I mean, even my third game today, shooting 270 against Birgit, I threw 3 different bowling balls in the 10th frame. There's no reason for me not to get an idea of what those balls do in comparison to each other in a situation like that. And that's something that I have learned being out here with these women and paying attention to what they do. Be bold, especially in situations like that when you have nothing to lose. And that's what you see these girls doing. It's hard a little bit sometimes to see on live stream, so hopefully we're able to catch it quickly and get that message to you guys what's going on. But it's important. It's what makes these girls so good.
Ooh. 11 to 10 for Pluhowsky there for the double to start, taking advantage. Steph with the open now. Need to get it back on track. And no problem for Lee Jane Sin. So she is going to be up 2-0 on Rocio now. Rocio again 2-14. And in a little bit of trouble. Down 2-0 in this best of 5 match here at the Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. Opening round of matches. We appreciate everybody being here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame.
Looks like Stefanie's a little stuck right now. From what I'm seeing, it looks like she was a little bit further right to start, and that spot started kind of opening up, and her ball started hooking right there, which is what happened earlier that I saw. And she tried to move a little bit left, and because her speed's a little bit greater, it's not wanting to make the corner. I would not be surprised if she makes a ball change or makes a little bit more of a parallel left, gets a little bit closer to the head pin. Not a big move, but like a 2-2 or something like that.
Looking at this 40-foot oil pattern again, designed so that each of the players had an opportunity to play her A game. And for some, straighter and higher speed, and for some, softer speed and open up the lane a little bit. So it's all there. We saw it in practice.
We did, yeah.
But it sounds like the current oil that we're seeing, current oil by Kegel, a little bit tricky in the transition.
That's funny.
Right?
The current oil. I was like, what do you mean, the current oil?
But
yes.
I mean, you saw it, and you talked about it in your match earlier, and just the way that it transitioned. But being able to watch the other matches and now learning from your match, going to help you considerably.
Yeah, I think that's something. My plan was, definitely continue watching every time they oil the lanes. They're going to play a little bit different, and just because of what worked today may not work tomorrow for me. And so just paying attention, I'm watching very closely to where these girls are sliding. What their hands are doing, their ball speed, lay down points, break point, bowling ball choices, covers, all of that is really important. I a lot of times think you can learn so much from watching. Sometimes I think you can learn more from watching than you can actually doing it yourself. So slap that 7-pin out of there.
Gonna mess around with the foot cam once again here.
That's cool.
Next time Stefanie comes up here on the right lane, but right now you're watching Pluhowsky. She's got the first 3 to start. She's gonna step up here on lane 1. And if you didn't see the pictures of this facility, it seems like this building almost was made for bowling, just the way that it's shaped here. We're underneath a big dome here, 4 lanes that fit perfectly. The whole setup fits perfectly inside this domed area.
They really do.
And then the rest of the venue, just cool merchandise and cardboard cutouts of all the players. So that's kind of neat, walking in and seeing all 16 of you waiting for us when we got here.
Those are cool. They don't talk back.
Yeah, they're not very helpful on live stream either.
I don't know why. They're very shy.
All right, well, here's a look at Stefanie Johnson now. Looking for a double here. And we'll have the foot cam coming up here.
She moved a little, and that was freaking perfect. That was a really good adjustment by Stefanie.
Great shot there by Johnson as she recovers. And again, each of these players have the lane to themselves.
Yep.
So they're just battling, their own
breakdown.
Their own doings. Yeah.
Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's not a good thing.
All right, back to our split screen now, and Sin off to a hot start again with a double, looking to eliminate Restrepo 3-0. And then Shannon Pluhowsky looking to win back-to-back games, go up 2-1 against Stefanie Johnson. So our first two matches this morning, Parkin and Rodriguez, 3-0, Parkin wins. And then O'Keefe over Poplar of Germany, 3-0 as well. So the Johnson-Pluhowsky match, the first one of the day, going to go more than 3 games.
Yeah. Make sure you guys tune in also. When's the next round? There's one more round tonight.
Next round coming up is 6 p.m.
6
Eastern.
p.m.
And that's where we'll potentially get to see this year's Rookie of the Year or the building drama if Verity Crawley can make it through the bracket and get that award.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to want to miss it. That's some exciting stuff. Stefanie still having some problems here trying to get the ball to do the right thing.
It is definitely exciting stuff, folks. Trying not to fall out of the bleachers here, but nice to see such a great crowd on hand.
So Rocio is making another ball change here. She's gotta be bold here. I know I've said that multiple times, but she's got to find something. She's got to find it quick because Lee Jane is got a really, really good look, and it's not going to get any worse. And Rocio's struggling to find something here, so.
More trouble for Restrepo, winner this year at the Cubica AMF Sonoma County Open to start the year.
Rocio had an unbelievable year last year. She had a great season and then came out of the blocks firing again this year. So she's just a really solid player. You kind of got to watch her grow up because she's quite a bit younger than me, but in international competition. And, she's really, really turned into a great player.
Well, a couple messes to clean up here. Rocio making the washout, and Shannon Pluhowsky with the Greek Church on lane 2 after 4 consecutive strikes, but Stefanie Johnson opened in the 5th as well. So no momentum change there. Both players now looking to bounce back from a tough frame, and Pluhowsky gives it a run. She'll get 3. The advantage for the left-hander here at the halfway point. 11 for Shannon, 83 for Stefanie.
Oh, stubborn little 4-pin there.
So Lee Jane, the pin's falling and holding that one up.
I think light 4-pins are some of the weirdest hits.
Love on the 7. Now, Shannon, you bowled in some pretty interesting places, including outdoors in Reno under the arch. And so you've seen, at Cowboy Stadium, you guys have seen quite a bit of opportunity.
You got to bowl in a mall.
Yep. Back in 2006, the Women's Challenge, one lane in the middle of a mall.
Yeah, that's cool too.
So now here you are at the Richmond Raceway, part of a NASCAR weekend. And there's going to be a lot of traffic in here over the next couple of days as you guys get a chance to showcase what you and the PWBA Tour are all about. It's not just about bowling these matches, but it's an opportunity to get out there and network a little bit and tell people what this is all about. Maybe convert some NASCAR fans into bowling fans or both. Some similarities. Talk a little bit about traction and different things, and I think you guys can win them over.
Yeah, I definitely think that we are in a unique position and situation to where we can introduce women's professional bowling to a whole new crowd of people. And I think that's really, really exciting. Like you said, network, and we get to meet some of the drivers on Friday, and get to attend the race on Saturday, and it's just a really cool, really, really cool experience. And hopefully we can win some of these people over and see an influx of league participants and people attending PWBA events next year, and it's cool. It's going to be exciting. Rocio with another ball change. Looks, I don't know that equipment that well, but it definitely looked like a solid symmetrical bowling ball that she threw. Which it was. It's an IQ Tour, I think. I'm pretty sure that's a symmetrical bowling ball. And that definitely, I think, gave her the best shape overall in comparison to the last couple balls that she's thrown. So Stefanie has also changed balls, trying to find something.
As you can see here on your screen, Pluhowsky and Stefanie Johnson tied 1 apiece. And Rocio Restrepo without a strike here in Game 3 on the verge of elimination. Malaysia's Lee Jane Sin picked up a win at the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open, and a miscue there for Stefanie on the 10-pin.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Spares crucial at any level. Especially here, and as she's trying to chisel her way back into this match.
Matt, I mean, you've bowled a lot. You've bowled in some situations where it's match play and stuff. You always ask us the questions. I'm going to turn around and ask you a question. If you're and you're left-handed, so if you're in a situation like this where, you're bowling against a righty and things didn't go your way the first game, do you stay patient? Is it hard to stay patient in that situation? Especially when your opponent comes firing out of the gate shooting 260 at you. Is it challenging? How's that been for you in those experiences?
Well, you definitely feel the pressure at that point. You're down, but being that it's best of 5, it's possible. You're going to have to figure something out, but as we're seeing, and as you see, the lanes change, and then the momentum could swing at any point. If I was down 2-0, I would feel a whole lot worse.
But one's okay.
But one's okay. I think you can even it up pretty quick, and then you're even, right?
Yep.
So, and it's like starting from scratch. Then all of a sudden it's
just less games.
It's a best of 3 at that point.
Right.
But depending on who you ask, I would say I'm maybe not the mentally toughest player, and you let things from the past sneak in, and get in a situation, for example, needing a spare to win, or and you think back, unfortunately, to something that might have happened before.
Right.
You're in that situation. Oh, I hope it doesn't happen again.
It's true.
Whereas one of us in this booth stepped up and threw a pretty clutch strike just a few weeks ago.
The crazy thing about that, I had not great ball reaction. I don't know if I hit the pocket once in practice prior to the show, and there was multiple ways that we could go. I could throw a bigger asymmetrical ball because I knew if I missed a little bit right, it would come off of it, or I could stick with my freak show flip, which is a symmetrical pearl ball that we put surface on. And my husband looked at me, and he's our ball rep on tour, and he looked at me, he's like, I think you can go one of 2 ways, what do you think? And I said, honestly, I'm concerned that the asymmetrical ball is going to come off of it too hard, and I feel like I got to be a little more perfect with it. I'm just going to stick with this one ball and just keep it as close to the head pin as I can and just make 10 good shots. And it is what it is. And the first shot I threw in the 10th frame, I was nervous. And I haven't felt nervous in a situation like that in a really long time. And it hung on my thumb a little bit. But I left a wiggly 7-pin, and I was like, okay, I just got to make it. And I started thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to win. And I almost put my spare ball down to clear my thoughts and reset, because you cannot think that far ahead, because that's when you lose focus and you miss it. And I was able to tell myself no, stop it, make a good shot.
See, and that's where we're different.
It's hard.
I'm thinking, at the end of a game, I'm thinking, what do I do on the fill ball? What can I do to, what can I try?
Yeah.
And then miss the spare by 10 feet.
Yeah.
And, that's why I'm doing what I do. That's why you
Cut
do
it
what
out.
you do. But for those of you out there listening, if you did not tune in for the St. Petersburg Clearwater Open, to set it up, Shannon put herself in position.
Yeah.
Against Clara. With a chance, you stepped up. That's all you can ask for.
Right.
And Clara gave you the opportunity to step up and win not only the match but the tournament. You just kind of led into the 10th frame, but you had to strike on that fill ball.
Yeah, I struck in the 8th and the 9th, knowing that she had a great ball reaction, and mine was just kind of okay, and just knew that I was gonna have to make good shots. And, something that we teach our kids at McHenry, and I preach to them all the time, is it's never over till it's over, and you just keep coming. No matter what, you just keep coming. And if I can't live by that, then how do I expect them to live by it as well? And so I just kept telling myself, just make good shots, control what you can control. And Claire stepped up in the 10th frame, and she could double and 9, I believe, to shut me out, and she big forward, and I was stunned. I thought for sure she's going to double. There was no reason for me not to think that. And so when she big forward, I was stunned. And I quickly looked at the score and was calculating what I needed to do. And I was like, I just got to make a good shot. And first one wasn't great, but made my spare. And as I was picking up my ball, I hear my husband say, just have fun. And I instantly went from, oh my gosh, to, oh yeah, like, have fun. Just have fun, and whatever happens, happens, and that's whatever happens, it's what it's supposed to be, and it just is what it is, and it's gonna sound really crazy. It was probably the easiest shot I've ever thrown in my life in a pressure situation, because I didn't feel pressure, because I'm just having fun, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I know that seems really simple, and people are probably thinking, yeah, right, it's easier for her to say that right now because she won. But honestly, I talked to my dad after the show aired, and he had said to me, that is the most calm I've ever seen you in a situation like that. And I really, truly was very calm in that situation. So grateful it worked out. I won my 5th title, which is, a dream come true for me, and feel very blessed.
We are glad to have you here and happy to see you back at the Tour Championship, where you've come so close the last 2 years to making that TV show. 1 win down already, on to round 2 tomorrow. And right now we've got one good match here, and one going the wrong way for Rocio, who's had a great couple of years and picked up 3 titles over the last 2 seasons, and to make it back here, but the carry just not in her favor today. Lee Jane Sin bowling extremely well.
Yes.
And stringing strikes here. She's got 7 in the first 8 frames here, trying to close this one out. Nothing really Rocio can do at this point.
She definitely made the right ball change, beginning, middle of this match, when she went to that solid symmetrical bowling ball. Definitely started seeing the lane the right way. An unfortunate break there, wrapping that 10 pin too. Kind of put a stop to her string, but doing what she could in that moment.
Lee Jane on her way, but to our left here, Pluhowsky going to win game number 3. She'll take a 2-1 advantage when she gets locked in. And I've only heard stories. I mean, I've seen her bowl a million times over the last 12 years. But there's just one of the World Championships, I think, in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Was it 2011?
Unbelievable.
That she just was unstoppable.
She was like a robot.
Once she's locked in, and now she figures something out here. After the opening game, she struggled to 184. But now 250, 229. Just a Greek church in the middle there. It could have been much bigger, but it's enough. But you've had a chance to see her on multiple continents, and often with the lane to herself, and here she has it. But so does Stefanie. So they're in the same situation.
They are.
Can you describe maybe what you think they're thinking right now? Shannon down 1-0, bounces back with a big win, and now with the advantage and possible elimination for Stefanie.
Well, Shannon's definitely in the comfort zone right now. There's, she's just trying to get up and just make good shots. is probably what I would assume that she's in. She's comfortable. She's confident. She's got great ball reaction. Throwing urethane's not going to really change too much. So I think she's in a really good space. Stephanie's probably definitely feeling it, probably trying to make little adjustments here and there, trying to get the ball to see the lane the exact right way, and she's gonna try a different ball, I think. We'll see. She's looking over at her ball rep, and there's definitely in this situation there's a little pressure to and not panic, but a sense of urgency to, we got to find something. We got to find it now. Through this game and even last game, she potentially has one game left. So she's going to need to get comfortable and find something quickly here.
All right, let's take a look now over to Lee Jane Sin. She'll have the stage to herself here. Other match now, a little wider view. Pluhowsky up 2-1 over Stefanie Johnson, so things interesting over here. Our first match of the day going 4 games.
Are you okay? Do you need some water? You all right?
We are doing well here in Richmond, and of course I am stepping in for the ever-talented Emil Williams Jr., who said he needed a week off.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I heard he got married
Just
or something.
kidding. Yes, he now is a married man, Shanice and Emil.
It's very cool. Congratulations to them, we miss you, Emil, but I guess this was an okay excuse. Stefanie with a quick little double here, so.
All right, Shannon, you know now what you're going to be doing tomorrow at noon.
I do.
You're going to be hanging out with your pal, Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia.
Yes. It'll be good. She attacked the lanes very similar to how I did, so in hers and my match, if we both have the same game plan, we could very easily see the lanes break down maybe a little more than what we both saw today. So it'll be interesting. Tune in. Don't miss it.
All right, here's the shoe cam for Pluhowsky. We saw her miss a 10-pin earlier today and one on TV in a crucial moment. And here she gives it a run and no problem. Gets it actually to roll across the deck, which seems to only happen when the other one's not standing on the other side.
Of course.
So take a quick look at the scoreboard before Shannon steps up. A pair of spares for Pluhowsky. Stefanie with the double, looking to even this one at 2 apiece. Our other match already done. Lee Jane Sin 3-0 over Rocio Restrepo.
Shannon did not like that one. She kind of came up out of it.
We did have Liz Johnson scheduled to join us for part of this afternoon as well, but we're having a good time here with Shannon O'Keefe. For those of you just tuning in, Liz somewhere in the building as well. The players getting to do some interviews and see different parts of the Richmond Raceway complex here, and just really taking advantage of the 2 events going on simultaneously. Big NASCAR race happening this weekend. So players, they're not bowling too much, getting pulled in some different directions, really having the opportunity to talk bowling, maybe with some non-bowling people.
I think everybody, if you guys are tuning in, you're obviously bowling fans. And bowling, I so passionately want bowling to grow and have more exposure. And not just for me selfishly, but, I look at my kids back at McHenry and I want them to experience and have such great opportunities, and can't do that if bowling doesn't continue to grow. And all the little girls that we meet and the little boys we meet in pro-ams, and you want there to be a really bright future for them, and this is where it starts. And being able to take it to unique venues and cross paths with people that wouldn't necessarily know much or be exposed to it. And you never know who's going to be walking the grounds this week, and who's going to walk in the building and say, wow, this is pretty amazing, and want to be a part of it. So
there's Stefanie now stepping up on lane 1. 3 strikes to start.
She found something and got comfortable, that's for sure.
And the 10 won't go, but she's got the advantage here as we near the halfway point of our 4th game. Finds herself down 2-1 to Shannon Pluhowsky. This venue, though, very fan-friendly, and for the players, not a lot of places to go and hide, but you don't want to hide. You want to be out talking to the fans, and we've seen a lot of pictures being taken. The cardboard cutouts, very popular, but nothing beats the real thing.
That's right. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of really cool people already, and got an opportunity to speak with a dad and his little 12-year-old daughter, and they were asking for things. She she's aspiring to want to bowl in college and eventually on tour, and I just love to hear that, and asked for some suggestions, in my opinion, I guess, of what she should be working on at this point in her life, and was able to have a really great conversation with them. And that's what it's about. Building lifelong fans at an early age is what's going to help this sport.
A lot of great opportunities for youth bowlers, and now something to strive for, to work their way through the ranks, and perhaps one day find themselves on a sweet installation like this here at the Old Dominion building. Shannon shaking her head, didn't like that shot, but it got the job done.
Oh, that's the good old Pluhowsky right there.
Shannon Pluhowsky, you can see on her right shoulder there, the little cartoon character. That's her daughter, Autumn. And
cutest little thing in the whole world.
I know you guys all spend a lot of time together, but there definitely has been a change in Shannon Pluhowsky, and I think parenthood does that for many people. And she's just she's different out there. She used to be, very reserved and stoic, and if she saw me coming, for sure, first thing she did was duck into the ladies' room so that she didn't have to talk to me.
That's funny.
But now, just very outgoing, more outgoing, and
it is. I've known Shannon since she was 15 years old, and so I've known her for a really long time. Known her more than any of these ladies, and to be able to watch her through her college career and watch her win her first major, and bowling on Team USA with her, and being a world champion, and going through all these life experiences with her. Her becoming a parent was, I think, the greatest moment of her life, and she's such a great mom, and their daughter is amazing. She is so funny, and they're so good with her, and she really is. Little Autumn is the most popular girl on tour, that's for sure.
Here's Steph now looking to get back on track. Started with 3 strikes, spare in the 4th.
It's close.
Great shot. The A-pin goes late.
Really good shot.
Nice camera angle there, courtesy of Jason Thomas.
Thank you, Jason.
And going back to Shannon a little bit, again, seeing her on TV, having watched her compete and written about her successes, and the emotion is different. It's free flowing, whether it's positive or unfortunately in moments of defeat, but she does not hold back anymore.
She doesn't, and I think a lot of that's just just growing up and just being comfortable and confident with who you are. And she's got somebody else to think about now. She's got a little girl that watches every move, and we learned that the hard way. Watches every move that she makes, and how can you not feel that you're winning in life when you have this beautiful child? And it's been awesome as a friend to watch that.
Well, with that in mind, it's unfortunate that there wasn't a tour for so long, that you guys didn't have that opportunity. But at the same time, we talked to Liz and Kelly about the old days a little bit, where you're bowling to pay the mortgage.
Right.
You're bowling to eat.
Scary.
And for you guys, the timing, not so great, but it gave you an opportunity to go and find a different life, a fallback, or a real life, or a real job. And you see a lot of the players with other things. You have your coaching job.
Right.
Shannon runs a bowling center.
Right.
Stefanie is a marketing coordinator at Plano Super Bowl. So
I really think that that's really important. I think bowling for a living, that's scary, and that's challenging, because you can have good days and you can have bad days, and if you have too many bad days in a row, that's scary. I wouldn't want to have a bowling ball in my hand, and if I strike or not, determine whether I'm going to be able to pay my bills or not. And I wouldn't want that pressure on myself. And so we are very fortunate that, like you say, everything happens for a reason. And yes, it was unfortunate that we didn't have a tour for 12 years, but we had Team USA, and we were still competing at the highest level, and we had each other and a few majors throughout the year. But it really, you're right, it gave us an opportunity to have a job. And now the three of us specifically have all landed in a place where our jobs are very supportive of us and understand that is an additional way for us to make some supplemental income, and they're very supportive of it, and we are all just very, very blessed in that retrospect. And but so many women have that. Josie, she coaches in college, and Erin McCarthy is a nurse, and so it is possible. And I think when you have the women that do bowl for a living and get to travel the world, week in and week out and do that works for them. But then there's a whole other side that have full-time jobs and can still bowl, and it just shows people that if they're questioning whether they can do it or not, if you truly want to find a way to do it, you can. You just may have to be a little creative.
I think that maybe, at least it seems like, takes a little bit of the pressure off too. Again, you're not bowling for your mortgage. You're bowling because you love it, and you can see that. You can see that on tour. The mood is a little bit lighter at times, and
Look, we're all competitive, and we all want to win. And for me, it's not about the money. It's about I want to win because I'm so stinking competitive, and I think that's where so many of us are. We just want to win, and then the money behind it is just a bonus. You can make decent money bowling. No one's going to get rich off of it, unless you're Liz Johnson. But it's just a way for us to compete, and then you get the little bonus that goes along with it. So.
Well, here's Stefanie Johnson with a tough mess to clean up, and
yeah, that one looked like she missed a little bit further right than her shots before on that lane, and she missed a little bit at the bottom. And what I mean by that is her hand was in a little bit of weaker position as the ball came off her hand versus the shots before, and it wasn't going to have enough gas, rev rate, rotation, whatever you want to say, to make it around that corner and make up for it. So she's going to have to dig her heels in here and make some really good shots.
So now with the open frame, Pluhowsky with the chance to take the lead with a double. And the momentum swinging back in her favor, but Steph going to do everything she can here to get back on track. She had struck in 5 of the first 6 frames. So feeling comfortable, as you said, missed right on
just
that
a bad
one.
Shot.
It happens.
It does happen, and she's just going to have to clear her head and say, okay, it's just a bad shot, no big deal. And there you have it. And that's what makes Stefanie great. What makes all these women great is the ability to have a short-term memory in situations like that and just say, wasn't a great shot, and move on.
All right, there's a look at the scoreboard now. Again, Pluhowsky can double here, and she'll take a 2-pin lead. Looking to close this match out now. She leads 2-1 in the best of 5. Folks, you are watching the 2017 Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. Here's a look at Pluhowsky again from our perspective. A little bit high, but gets the 6 to go.
Such a cool camera angle. Thank you, Jason.
Getting fancy with our technology. I'm shocked that he trusted me with all these buttons, knowing my track record, and but so far things going smoothly here.
I'm impressed. I wouldn't even know where to begin. You're lucky I know how to speak into the microphone.
I thank Emil for all the training that he's given you guys over the last couple of years, and of course your willingness to help and cooperate and come and join us and give us your insight. Much appreciated.
No problem.
Pluhowsky for the lead.
Really good shot.
And you know, and she knows when she throws a great shot because she posts it and she gets down at the foul line.
She does.
There's no doubt about that one.
She crouches a little bit. I laughed earlier. Shannon kind of turned quickly on a shot and was like, ugh, and it struck. It was high flush, and she does that so often where she kind of throws her hands up or turns or kind of stomps her foot a little bit, and they're always high flush. It's crazy, but those ones The ones that she gets off her hand and she posts it and she gets down, those are no doubters. Those are the ones I like to see her throw when I'm her teammate. Good shot.
Right,
She's not going to go away.
Absolutely. So Steph's going to finish this one out. She can get to 243. Shannon's going to have to match her.
Yeah.
Get to 245, so drama.
Exciting. We're either going to extend the match or it's going to be over. Here we go.
We saw Steph in her return in Orlando throw some big shots to make her way through to the group step ladder and then to the TV show, and then of course delivering against Birgit Poplar on the show. Just a great day and a great end to the season. I know Chris Johnston, a talented player in his own right.
Yeah.
An avid extra frame watcher. I would not be shocked if he was watching right now.
Hi, Chris. Oh. Woo. You know, the really cool thing, obviously Chris knows this, and I don't know if you guys talk about this, but Stefanie was Rookie of the Year out here in the inaugural relaunch of the Ladies Tour in 2015, and Chris was Rookie of the Year in his first year. Sorry, Chris, I don't know what year that was, but 2004. I knew. How cool is that?
Yes.
Husband and wife getting to both be Rookie of the Years on their respective tours. It's pretty awesome.
Now, how talented are Levi and Kenzie going to be should they choose the bowling route? I think the
no
fact
doubter.
that both of their parents work and bowl in the industry.
Yeah.
But I feel they'll most likely leave it up to them, and should they go that route, they're going to be tough to beat, and we'll see them on the Junior Gold Under 12 Championships in a dozen years.
There she goes. Yeah, how cool. That's cool. That's cool to think about.
There's that Stefanie Johnson fire, the trademark celebration after the shot. I think everybody has theirs. And,
they do.
We just got to see both of them.
Yeah.
We saw Shannon and Stefanie now.
And when Stefanie, how often, I mean, you watch bowling a lot, obviously. How often, when Stefanie needs a double, does she deliver? I mean, it's almost a given. It's impressive.
That's how you guys get to this level. Put yourselves in position and deliver. That's what you dream of, is that moment. This is a mini moment for Stefanie to get up and deliver. The necessary double in the 10th there. She gets to 242, so Pluhowsky is going to have to double as well. That's it. Anything short. And she'll be looking at game 5.
Yeah.
Not eliminated, so still a chance, but she will now need to put herself in that moment. She had an opportunity on the nationwide Rochester Open show and got the first one, came up short on the second one.
Yeah, I talked to her a little bit about it after. Anyway, hang out all the time, and sometimes on those shows it's challenging because you have the ball return cover, and she kind of banged into it on her second shot and couldn't stop. That's close. Wow. And she was really frustrated by that she didn't stop because she kind of banged off of it and walked around it, and it caused not a great shot, and it was really hard to see her be frustrated over that. Made me emotional talking to her, and just wanted to take the pain away. And
well, I think had she already been a winner on tour, that moment, that sting a little bit less, but knowing, being potentially one shot away from,
right. So much.
The cliche again, the monkey on the back.
Yep.
Here she is in that situation again.
She needs this one. She likes it. Wow. Unbelievable
Absolutely.
shots. No doubters. No doubters.
All right, 8 to win. Anything less? We're going to have some more bowling. So there's a look at the scoreboard now. 245 max score. See if we can push the magic button here and get our
yes.
special angle for this final shot. She's going to step up again. Needs 8 or better. There it is, Pluhowsky.
Wow, there she have it.
She throws the big shot when she needs to. 245, 242 to eliminate our Team USA teammate, Stefanie Johnson. What a great match. Of course, somebody has to lose, unfortunately. But, you know, Steph will be here cheering you guys on tomorrow.
Of course. Of course. You know, it's never fun to lose, but, you know, just the fact that she was even in the position after, you know, we've talked about, you know, she only bowled 3 events and won, and, you know, just really proud of her. And Stefanie is an inspiration for me, and she doesn't have a lot to hang her head over. I mean, she figured it out and threw some really great shots, and unfortunately was just a little short against Shannon. So.
Thank you all for coming this afternoon, and we'll see you in about 1 hour.
All right, that is going to do it for this round of matches. Coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will have on our left, I believe, Clara Guerrero and C.T. Rahman of Malaysia, and then a possible Rookie of the Year implication, Daria Payuk and Verity Crawley on our other pair. So we do appreciate everybody tuning in for our ongoing coverage of the 2017 Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Shannon O'Keefe, who won her first match. She'll be back with us tomorrow, taking on Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia at noon Eastern. Folks, we'll be back again at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for tuning in from Richmond, Virginia. That's the news for now, and we'll see you on the lanes.
Bye, guys.